Hey there, Nixie here. Today I made 3 builds and I will be showing and explaining to you how I built them together with some fun facts about each structure. So if you're ready, let's get started. As a first structure, I will be building the Tower of Pisa, also known as the Leaning Tower of Pisa because it is leaning south at a 4-degree angle, and once even up to 5.5 degrees in 1990 before it was stabilized. With the leading part of this build, I had to calculate how many blocks sideways was accurate to the angle, and then make a cylinder that follows this angle all the way up the tower, which took longer than it should have as I made the build on a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning 1 meter is equal to 1 block. I started building the frame with white wool to not have to think about the color first. No block in Minecraft, as far as I'm aware, is near that of the Tower of Pisa, and I refuse to use grey as a color in this build. Did you know that the Tower of Pisa is over 600 years old? And it was started even longer ago, in the 12th century. That was 9 centuries ago. I did not record the replays for the entirety of the building process because it simply takes too long to build such a structure. Instead, I made screenshots along the way which I will use to explain the process to you. How can both the Tower of Pisa and the Eiffel Tower be called a tower? They look completely different. What defines a tower is actually it being tall and narrow and not so much related to the actual shape of the structure as long as it fits those base lines, which is why both are called a tower. After I finished the general shape of the tower, I replaced the wool with quartz and then started thinning the tower, also including quartz and stairs as detail. I then changed the color of the tower to birch as a darker color to make the quartz stairs and sandstone stand out. I finished the top of the tower using warped fences as bells because of their blue appearance, iron bars as fences on top, and added the Pisan flag on top, which I later made smaller. To finish the build, I used oak plants to add more shadow and built part of the sunken ground the tower is located on. The second build is the Eiffel Tower. For this build, I did not make it on a 1-to-1 scale, but on a 1-to-1/3 instead, meaning 1 block is equal to 3 meters. This is so that it would be more similar to the size of the other structures I built in this video, and so I don't get burnt out, because the Eiffel Tower is actually over 300 meters tall, equivalent to almost 1,000 feet. You'll be able to see the comparison with the other 2 structures at the end, which, keep in mind, isn't even the actual size. I started by making a frame, once again out of white wool. I measured the width of different points of the tower and then connected them with lines, right after which I curved them to make it look natural. I also added an arch on each side. The Eiffel Tower was built for the art expedition for France and Paris. The construction started in 1887 and ended in 1889. During the construction of the Eiffel Tower, not a single person died, which is actually really impressive. Once again, I struggled to find a block with a color that suited that of the Eiffel Tower, so eventually I went with something that looked similar rather than trying to get the exact color. I also used acacia wood as a sort of outline to make the overall color look brighter but still be able to use copper blocks, since these are similar to the colors of the tower and they come in many variations, allowing for details. As a last and final darker shade, I used light grey terracotta. Lastly, I used these blocks and copper grates and stairs to make details into the frame of the Eiffel Tower. Lastly, we have the Statue of Liberty, which was the hardest build of all to get accurate to size and shape, which is why I improvised that part a bit and made the statue look a bit more Minecraft character themed rather than an actual body shape. The colors for this one were obvious though, as you'll see in a bit. I used aged copper and mud bricks. Both have many variations, which still makes the build look detailed without using more than 3 blocks. If you didn't yet know, the Statue of Liberty is actually a woman. I started once again by measuring its size on a 1-to-1 scale and decided not to make the full platform the statue was standing on because I wanted the centerpiece to be the statue itself. I started detailing from the face and crown, and did you know that the 7 spikes on the crown actually represent each continent, which stands for the universal importance of liberty? I made the mistake of thinking these spikes went all the way around first, so good to know. I tried to make the face as accurate as possible as I could on such a small scale, which was difficult, but really that's the fault of the French for making the statue so small. I mean, the statue itself isn't even taller than the Tower of Pisa. I didn't add interior or special effects like the fire that the statue is holding or the sparkles in the Eiffel Tower in this video, so tell me if you'd like to see any of those, or if you have any other recommendations, don't hesitate to let me know. I quickly started with the platform of the Statue of Liberty standing on, using variations of mud bricks, and because mud doesn't have trapdoors, jungle trapdoors. All that was left to do then was to make the body look more realistic by thinning it a bit and then adding texture in the dress. After many days of block placing, I finally finished them. The 3 structures: the Tower of Pisa, the Eiffel Tower, and the Statue of Liberty. Tell me what you think of these builds and where you think I could improve, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Till the next video, bye bye! Oh, and psst, comment how many times you saw a strange panda lurking in this video. Big thanks to my friend who helped entertain me during the repetitive, boring stuff of these builds.